Thanks, panel, and welcome back to the Royal Sea Cup here as we're coming into our final best of two of today. And this one's going to be a bit of a doozy, especially since there's so much on the line and so many little details you're going to have to keep in mind as we go through this game. My name is Guinea Q. This is Play of the J, as we will be your casters for this final best of two between Bren and Next. These guys, oof, NTER just like... they can frustrate me so much. Sometimes they're really, really hot, and sometimes they just get a little cold.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we've had such a competitive day, like how things have transpired and whatnot, you know, it's like I can't blame it. Sometimes these teams can really turn up the heat when necessary. We've seen the most number of drawn games across all of it, and that's why when we consider the implications now, I mean, it was briefly touched on by the panel, you know, but as to you know, who has the chances to go through, it could be either of these teams depending on how the results go. So of course we have Bren. Bren has 2 map wins so far, you know, so we have both Morph and AHQ who both have 3. So they need a minimum of 1 and a good round differential to go through, or if they take both, they will for sure be in, and then it will be between AHQ and Morph to see who goes through. But it is not all. NTER also have a chance.
Yeah, and that's the scary part here, because NTER, they're going to be needing 2 wins off of Bren, which is going to be difficult in itself. But if they can, they really do prove that they do belong within the playoff section itself. So I want to see how that kind of goes on, and then after that, we could talk a little bit more about those round differentials, because that's going to be a make it or break it for a lot of these teams.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we've not had such a close finish before, and looking forward to seeing how this is going to be panning out. So where are we going to be playing? We're going to be playing on Haven first. This is going to be Bren's map pick. And, yeah, we'll see how it's going to be panning out from that. We do have NTER going to be picking the defensive side first. And I think, you know, we've seen a lot of Haven today. I think all these teams are going to be very well aware of how everyone is playing on this. So it's just anything new being brought to the table.
Of course, but still, I still have my creeping suspicions about Bren and this map overall, but let's see how they actually perform, because this time they didn't actually decide to go for bind, but instead they wanted to make sure that they get some aggressive plays down, and what better place to do it, especially on an attack focus, well, I wouldn't even say attack focus, but more so an advantage for the attacker's side on this map.
Yeah, and now I think with this very first round on the board, we do see that NTER going to be opting for a little bit of aggression. They do have both the Raze and the Jet being brought in lieu of flashes here, so it's going to be a bit interesting, but otherwise it's going to still be relatively standard. And now we do also see that instead of bringing the breach, and actually this is the same lineup that we saw coming out in the previous game, where we did of course have more bringing the Reyna, which has started to prove to be quite effective, and I think we see Bren also bring this out as before.
Yep. It's a tough call, because personally I like Breach because I play Breach, but besides that bias, I think overall it's really smart for some of these teams, especially when they have such strong fraggers on either side. Dispenser once again going to be playing on that Reyna, but also ACLX on that Raze really gives a lot of, you know, pressure for the team, allowing to clear out some tight corners, and more so people who are trapped are basically going to die.
Yeah, and you know, when we also look at this is a slight departure for Bren of what they brought in to Haven the last time when they faced off against oh no, sorry, actually it is the same that they used to face off against AHQ, so it did work out well for them. 13-9 was that score, and it's actually been quite a while since we've seen them play, so let's hope that they haven't cooled off too much, as we do want to have a doozy of our final match.
Yep, hopefully both of these teams are warmed up as we are going into it. It's going to be a bit of a... oh no, the pause is already done, and they've already gone through that 30 seconds. Perfect, which means that this game is going to be starting off for exactly how it started on this map, as they will be, again, what I'm expecting to see, Bren attacking the A side.
Yep, and the A side 3-man stack here for NTER. to really try and counteract this is going to be potentially devastating. Now, they did just dedicate the Cyber Cage here to really try and fake it out the attack, and they're already in the B side as a result. Look at them. They're going all the way through here on the A connector, and they might be able to meet up here, but it looks like Mao here is going to be able to halt things. He gets 2 kills here. Worst troubles. Dispenser also going down 3 kills here. Borkum not going to be able to take down the solo defender, and now they have the spike accordingly. Now, Jesse Vash, he's the only player left remaining, but he's not going to have a whole bunch of luck.
Yep, and that moment's going to knock him out with a dink and a shot to the neck. That's super unfortunate overall, but that's going to be Bren's attack onto the A side, completely thwarted by Sova.
Oh, and that was a nice play there. Mao is going to be the hero here, coming out from NTER, as they were able to shut that down. But of course, when you move at such pace, you're definitely going to be telegraphing your position. And I think they really hoped that the fake was being sold there by the Cyber Cage, and also for the Owl drone that we did see coming out from Jing. But it wasn't meant to be, and now it looks like the advantage here going to NTER.
I absolutely love the fact that Bren is actually pulling off these fakes, putting more variations in their style of attack. Now they're going to be moving towards C site here. Already a good amount. I'm not sure how many he spotted, but I'm pretty sure he spotted at least 2 pushing up over. And now the rotation has already happened. Jets on the site. The rest of the team looking to pull through. Reyna doesn't realize that she does check back side. And unfortunately, he's going to go down, hitting 1 for 1. Still not going too good for Bren. That's going to be a 2 for 1. And finally, they even up the casualties. The rest of them are going to be running through spawn. Borkum making sure that he's taking the nice close tight angle. He's going to teleport on out of there to reposition.
Oh, he's trying to carry the team on his shoulders, but only with 45 HP. This is not going to be too good, but the spike is planted at the moment, so there's going to be that fear for Bren. Now, this 2-player retake ACLX is going to be trying to go for a little bit of coverage here, while Borkum here is trying to see what he can do. Not a whole lot, as of course we do have the Spectre for the anti-eco side working out, but again, they did take quite a bit of losses for that. It potentially could limit things a little bit, but it looks like they're still able to buy 3 rifles and maintain 2 of the Spectres. But yep, full buy coming out here from the rest of Bren.
Yep, they're going to be covering each other from NTER here. But overall, I think their eco is still relatively healthy. The only person who's really going to feel it is Sen Hoachik. And overall, I think he can be covered by pretty much all of his teammates. He just needs to focus on that armor. But if this round doesn't go well, that could be a different story.
Yeah, I think they do need to try and deliver here on this full buy, Bren. But they did deal enough damage to try and, you know, make sure that there's a bit more long-term success as a result if they can take this. But now there is still going to be more of these aggressive pushes here coming out on the A side, and really just trying to gather a lot of information from the front. But now there is going to be, of course, this pressure coming in from the C long. We do see Dubstep and Dispenser starting to strut their stuff here. And if they can get this opening pick onto Senho, it could open the doors.
Yep, Cypher, if Cypher checks this map right now, he'll know for sure that somebody actually tried to push through sewers. Well, sorry, not even sewers, or even A long, to try and get out into the gardens. But the Hunter Spear is coming out of Mao to look for any kind of indication on where exactly Bren is going to be attacking the map, because it's been at least a good amount of time since nobody has really seen any bodies besides Cypher on that C site.
Yeah, and this is gonna again be a very difficult puzzle to unlock here for NTER, as they do want to try and see how they can rotate as best as they can. But I think looking at the positioning coming out from them, I think they have prioritized on the C and B side. They do have the presence on A lobby, but Borkum here, he's gonna get spotted out here. Paranoia coming out, Dubstep still moving in here with the tailwind, not able to come out with the Amen Hola here, able to get the shots there from the spawn side of things here. ACLX, he's gonna be catching the flank watch there. The lurker's not gonna influence things too much. Dispenser though, he's gonna hit back. He gets 2 here. He's looking for the 3rd here. Now there's only gonna be 2, well actually all 3 remaining players all condensing here. But Dispenser, he gets 1, but not anymore. He's gonna have to settle for the 3 cake, and NTER makes it 3 in a row.
Oh, that's so unfortunate, because all they had to do was get onto the side. They had everything going from them. They finally opened up garage side, and going into that connector through to get to C, it was looking so good. They pushed through that. They pushed through the shrouds. They were on the side. They're ready to set up that post plan and start cutting off and smoking off the spawn site. They just didn't seem to get that kill onto Sen Hojcik, who sat all the way at the back of the site and just made sure he was constantly putting pressure on them, making sure, oh, not only do I have to watch spawn, but I gotta look at my back once in a while.
Oh yeah, and you know, they did try to look at their back, but ACLX was going to be able to catch out Jesse, so not going to be really influencing all that much in the site retake. I mean, Dispenser is firing on all cylinders, but there's only so much you can do when you still have 3 players left to take out. And the 3K was not going to be enough. We're going to have a little bit of a pause while we sort out some issues here, but stay tuned. We will be able to start here pretty soon after the reconnection here from Ching is successful. And looking at this, NTER, they really want to qualify for our playoffs starting tomorrow.
Yeah, they are working very, very hard, and so far it's going really well. And they're going to need to take this momentum, especially from the defensive side. The more points that they can gain for themselves, it's going to be a huge buffer going into the attacker side. But Bren, on the other hand, oh boy, they've changed it up so many times. They just need to land their shots now.
Oh yeah, and that thing is now, because they've lost 3 in a row and they did a full buy, now they're going to have to opt for full shares here in an attempt to really try deal the damage. Look at all 3 players here going to be hanging out here on A-Long. ACLX and Popoman both going to be getting these opening frags. Paranoia coming out, but it's a little bit too late. They do catch out ACLX though, but there's going to be enough Cloudburst available here for Popoman to really try and retreat from. And now the Sheriffs, they're in a difficult spot with these longer angles to try and confirm any kills.
Shock arrows coming up, going to secure that kill onto Jesse Vash, who locked himself right into that corner. Can't really get out of there. Unfortunately, the cross was just way too dangerous as NTER close out this round 4-0 against Bren. Now, at least now they're bringing out the big boy guns. And Odin?
Odin coming out to play. I believe it's if I'm not mistaken, it's the very first one that we've been seeing. And yeah, we've been missing a little bit of that weaponry diversity here, but now get the shock dart on point here. Jesse gonna be feel like the burn on that one. And now that Sheriff round really not working out, but it's gonna be another full buy for Vandals and the Phantom, so just give Bren the option. But I have to say, NTER is quite on a roll.
They really are. But at least Bren this time making sure that they're not actually bringing the Odin, especially when they are from behind, opts to go for the Vandal instead, as they look to kind of, you know, spread out, press their luck through B. They didn't see Eamon Hala sitting there as the information has been given out. Jet picks off a free easy headshot as the rest of the team looks to push through Garage as well as C-Long.
Oh yeah, and now they are already here on the seaside here. Dispenser here does have Empress working out, and the dismiss here gonna work out, but still getting caught out by Mao. Thought he was safe, he exited that invulnerable state, and now he's gonna get punished. Jesse though, he's gonna get the refrag here onto Senho, still hiding out behind the platform. Now there is still gonna be Mao peeking around the side. He does get the headshot, and NTER, they make it 5 in a row. ACLX also going to be able to survive from that round, and I don't think that they're going to mind losing 3 of their players, as now it's going to be another eco round coming out from our Bren side.
Oh man, Bren is oh boy, this is they're making it hard on themselves, that's for sure. They're definitely making it hard on themselves, especially on an attacker-sided map. Bren haven't been able to take a round off of NTER overall. It looks like their strategies are being telegraphed a little bit, but the variations all come to the same goal, and NTER are making sure that those sites that they usually attack, A or C, are going to be locked down.
Dubstep going to be using the Blade Storm here on the eco round. Definitely going to be a good option available. But now B-side here is going to be completely taken here straight off the start here. But now look at the positioning here on the both of the links. They're going to be able to take down 2 players there. Eamon Hala and Popoman both combining now. Looks like there's only going to be 2 left, but Ching at the very least is going to take down ACLX, getting a little bit too adventurous down the A-long side, but it's only going to be Ching that's left. He still pops his ult here. I'm not sure if that is going to be very worthwhile, given the fact that this is not going to be a round that they're likely to win here. The Defenders are going to be able to win after defusing the spike. They could have saved that for their gun round, which will be subsequent to this, and then they would have a better chance of overcoming.
I mean, it's a show of confidence here that they are not going to require Sova's ultimate to actually push through. And overall, yes, it does hurt the economy just a little bit, but it's still a tough game to win coming in from Bren, especially a 6-round deficit overall. They really have to start changing things up, but now with the big boy guns, they really need to win this round. They've tried it 2 times already, didn't work out, maybe 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens from here, but NTER, they do have 3 ults available to them as well. They've been able to sit on them for a while as well as build up the bank, but this is going to be a bit more of a split push here. ACLS looking to use his, but it's not going to hit. He's trying to spam through the dark cover, almost able to confirm the kill there, but not going to be able to do it here. Blastback coming out there, and ACLX is still going to be able to get it. Doesn't have the damage as it does before, but ACLX doesn't care. He's going to pick up his second in quick succession, and now he's looking for this other player, but Mao from behind, he's going to be able to weigh in. Ching, he's going to go down, and another gun round is going to waste here right before the eyes of Bren.
Yeah, and right now Jet, she's hanging around a connector so far. She's in a very difficult spot, but still wants to go onto the side. They find a lurker, and that's going to be it. Defenders win this round here, as once again, Bren just struggling to get anything out of NTER, because I don't know, NTER just looked way more warmed up.
Yeah, NTER are firing on all cylinders, and of course, both of these teams did have a break just now, so it's up to them to keep warm and everything. Yeah, and I think, you know, looking at how they want to try and take this, of course, this attacking side hasn't been working out too well in this particular instance. They have to try and go back to the drawing board. You could see they're desperate to try and get back to winning ways. They're going for a bit of a broken buy here at the moment, as they do want to try and claim a round win as fast as possible.
Well, now they're going to be pushing through. I'm pretty sure they can see a good... Oh, no, they've been hugging the wall quite nicely. He's not entirely sure, but the Lear comes out, and immediately that's going to be the first frag coming through. Dubstep goes down. Dispenser takes a headshot out to Senaholic. Now that they've secured the site, this is the post-plant position that they've been waiting to get all game, and this just might be their round.
Yeah, I mean, they do give up one of their players here in the form of Dubstep, but they are going to be able to get 2 picks there for their troubles, and now there is going to be a 3-player retake coming out here, but they're all going to be in the same spot here, and all Purplemen running right into the middle of the pack there, leaving only Mao here left remaining here. He's going to be able to take down his opposite number, Ching going down, but there's still going to be 2 players left on site. He's trying to split them out, but it can't happen, as Dispenser, he's going to get 3 kills there, and finally, Bren is going to be able to put one on the board.
Big rounds coming in from Bren. They need to make sure that they win the next until they switch sides. They can't afford to give NTER any more rounds from here on out. It's just slowly digging their grave if they do. But NTER, they're feeling hot. They're really feeling hot, and I think this is going to start snowballing out of control if momentum isn't stopped right. NTER overall, their economy is healthy. Bren slowly trying to come back into it to try and even things out. But if NTER stop this next push from Bren, I think it might just break them.
Oh, and right now the next push does seem to be afoot onto the C alongside. It was kind of telegraphed there. They might back out potentially, as this will be 2 rounds in a row, but it's Dubstep and Dispenser going to be right here at the mouth of C long, looking to push in here as soon as the dark cover is going to dissipate. Currently no one rotating over here for NTER, just leaving Senho all by his lonesome. Oh, now there is going to be Popo Man moving in here from spawn. He's going to be behind the boxes there at the moment. He's going to get 1 aim in as well, but now with the push coming in, Dispenser, he is going to be able to take it. He's popped the Empress and might be able to claim some more here if he's going to catch those rotations.
Dispenser's already been taken out. It's a 2v2 situation. They've got the post plant. They set up the crossfire. Unfortunately for Cypher, he's going to be going down. Recon Arrow going to respond. Unfortunate timing there. Sova peeks just as he's trying to finish that animation, getting blasted as NTER once again. They're going to be able to share those ult points off of the spike diffuse as they move on 8-1.
With the pre-fire bang kill there,
he's crushing it.
Absolutely sensational, as he is going to be able to catch him out. The Cypher none the wiser here. He's going to get destroyed here, and just no chance. And the dart here also going to be completely occupying Ching, not able to prevent the stat kill.
Mao's senses is so warmed up. It's like he has spider senses at this point. It's just, oh no, I'm tingling. He could be by those boxes. Might as well pre-fire. Gets the kill and follows it up, but a quick another one before diffusing. I think these rounds are slowly starting to go into NTER's favor, and they're getting more and more aggressive. Look at the confidence of which they're actually pushing out through A side now this time, with the rays coming through A long. while Jet is in sewers. Now they just have to start rotating. They see the utility being used.
Oh, Senho shooting through the dark cover, gonna catch Dispenser, and oh, this is not looking so great here for Bren, and they're gonna be forced to relinquish that kind of positioning that they taken here. Jesse also not able to make any inroads, and he's gonna claim another one. Dubstep's head goes sky high, and now it looks like NTER is gonna have a clean sweep, and Ching, he's gonna get Eamon Hole as he tries to go through the garage window. But he's got all the angles covered here, also from the C side of things, and also from spawn. ACLX is rotating over, and he's gonna be able to get the flanking shots. Just no one able to cover on the A lobby side.
Look at NTER now. They are coming off so hot and with so much momentum on the defender side. They really understand what they have to be doing. The individual play is, the charts are just going off. I can't, even with my Dragon Ball Z Power Scarter, it's just over 9,000.
Oh, that is absolutely tremendous. They know the stakes that are at afoot here on the final day of our group stages. They want to emerge from Group D, and to be able to do that, they need to take 2 maps and also get a good round differential. So they are very well on their way. Oh, Mao coming out here with the initial shots here of the Hunter's Fury, not able to land them as he tries his best Sinatra impersonation, in fact.
Yeah, that's a good point. But now looking back into this, Bren, once again, they're trying to spread out, making sure that they are looking for any opportunities to try and get onto the C side. They have Garage secured for themselves, but NTER, they feel it, they know it, they smell it. They've already rotated on, and even Race is falling back into sewers to try and get onto spawn side of C.
Desperation setting in. They are starting to push here through the garage. They're coming through the tunnel here, but they're still going to be Popo Man, still going to be inside the middle of C, but he finally falls here as Dispenser crowding around him. But look at all of this meat grinder situation and going to be opening onto that C-link side. We already have 2 defenders all going to fall around that side. ACLX and Mao trying to go in for the retake, but it's a 3v2 in favor of Brent, so they could continue to watch the side. Mao was absolutely brilliant on the retake in the previous round. He might be able to come up gold in this one.
They'll do it again. This time they changed it up. Instead of hiding directly behind the box, you can even see the gunshots of which Mao actually tried to go for it. He made sure, I'm gonna pre-fire this. They're probably gonna do it again, but unfortunately he wasn't there, and somebody else decided to pop up to take off his head.
Oh, Mao, he has 16 kills and 3 deaths. Absolutely insane from this man as he looks to carry his team over the finishing line. Currently, the Taiwanese team, they do have the momentum on their side. There's only going to be 1 round left here in this half before they transition over to their offense, and they have a very good chance of taking this without letting Bren even settle into their defensive side. But look at the peek here from Popo Man, demonstrating exactly why Jet is right now the premier offer. It's going to be able to take down the opposite number and still get away.
Wow. Wow, barely took any damage off of that, especially peeking that aggressively, but unfortunately, Popo Man gets hit by the operator coming out of Ching from Bren as they are looking to play for picks, both sides at 1 casualty. They are taking it nice and easy, nice and slow.
Yeah, I think, you know, with Ching getting back the trade there, they can actually play their normal game at the moment. 2 Jets out, and the game is not really going to affect them too much. But ACLX, he's been dominating here on this A-link side, or sorry, A-long side, and he's still going to catch Jesse, just hiding behind the boxes in A lobby, and he's going to get finished off, and this is really slowing things down even more. And look at where Borkham is. He's going to hold up here behind Gong and really see if he can catch any of these rotations coming through mid.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, they're dropping the smokes already, and we're expecting Reyna to actually drop down the spike on a default position. They could set up a crossfire by window side, but even then, it is still a tough place to hold. They're making sure they are just covering their angles.
Oh, and the dark cover gonna stack again here on the A-link. There's 3 players ready to move in. Senho, though, he is gonna find Ching as he's gonna transition through grass, see if he can get an angle here from the mid window. But there's gonna be the push coming in here from the A-link. They're all coming in here, but the Spencer with the crossfire set up here, and now this is gonna be absolutely devastating. But Senho is not looking to give up just yet here. Eamon Hola, he's gonna be moving in, and they combine to be able to clean house Bren. Bren. They're going to be starting
Switching
the second half
sides.
here in an incredibly disadvantageous position.
Oh my goodness. NTER, I think they've been doing some mathematics in the background because I think they finally realized if we win 2-0, it's going to come down to map differential, and they want to be the undisputed winners of this group. So that's going to be a big ask, but right now NTER is making the dream work.
And they definitely have the motivation. I think the nature of the ferocity of the defense, you know, has been a little bit on the aggressive side, really not relinquishing map control too easily to Bren at all. I think especially the A counteraction was really good coming out from NTER. ACLX in particular, really pushing down the long side, but supported when necessary.
Yeah, I mean they're making all the smart moves. They're even aggressively pushing out of B, expecting Bren not to actually fall for this. Fall for this one more time. But they've already switched sides, which I obviously didn't notice because I'm clearly dyslexic. As the rest of the team of Bren is going to be starting to push aggressively, even though I thought they would enter for a good amount of time.
Well, in any case, it could be a case of great minds think alike here, but they are actually going to be second-guessing themselves, backing out, as of course they did actually utilize a couple of their dark covers here to really try and sell this. This is actually going to keep two of the members here from Bren on site here at the moment, while NTER is going to be moving all the way around to C, where we're only going to have Ching.
Don't worry about it. Omen will get it back eventually. He just has to bide the time, play it slow. They still have a lot of time on that clock here. As Bren's Ching, he's going to be the first line of defense to deal. Oh, he sees two already. There comes the arrows.
Oh man, and they're going to be able to go right past their dispenser, though. Is going to take down Popo Man. Ching, though, he's caught with his pants down and not going to be able to sustain here. Now, there is going to be a retake situation, but look at the losses that has been sustained by both sides. It's going to be a fairly even fight. They're kind of waiting for the bit of repositioning that we do see from the C-long side of things here for the defenders, but still not a lot of HP left here on Dispenser, so this is going to be a little bit difficult for him to push right into this.
I'm not entirely sure how Bren really wants to approach this situation because, again, we've got two people stacked down in garage side. We see Omen. He's going to be dropping down the Paranoia. Great way to actually push through, but unfortunately the crossfire had been set up. Cypher needs to just buy some time. Unfortunately for Omen, he's already been taken out, and they finally finish off Jesse Vash here as they run off as the spike will explode. Oh my goodness. They literally are on fire. Like, if I didn't have the screen in front of me, I would assume all of them are running it back like Phoenix.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the timing was slightly off from that. I mean, the Paranoia was a good bit of a maneuver here to allow them to push in, but it wasn't quick enough from the spawn side. So already we did have the case where Eamon Hola wasn't going to be nearsighted anymore by the Paranoia. He was able to confirm the kill. And in the end, that proved decisive because we did see that eventually the other two players from NTER were eliminated when the rest of Bren also ingressed on the site.
Oh, this is so good! I'm not sure whether or not the Owl Drone spotted up Dubstep, but now he's in perfect position to shoddy some unfortunate fool walking through sewers. But luckily for NTER, they're not going to be going through that way. They're just feeling it out. They're trying to see whether this bubble will burst if they put enough pressure on it.
And they are not under pressure at all, because with that opening pick and the fact that they're on 11 points, they can feel very comfortable that they can drive this home. They've gone full anti-eco here. If they put this one on the board, basically Bren is already going to be having their backs against the wall, and the NTER's job of really making Bren sweat, just the nature of how they've been able to do this, will be enough.
Oh my goodness, the timing couldn't have been anyone's. Just as he peeks, but that's going to be Jesse Bosch going to be next on the chopping block, followed by Borkum as well. He gets to the initial trade-up, so it's a 1v4. And this round, the anti-eco, unfortunately, not going to be coming out too well for Bren, but NTER, oh my goodness, they can close out this game. What can Bren do? They're going to have to run the greatest comeback of all times if they want to make this work.
Oh, this has been completely in shambles here. Bren on their map pick of Haven. They are going to be soon on this map point, and they're going to have to try and pull one back when we move to our second map, which is going to be on Split. But hey, that's NTER's map pick here. They haven't shown their hand or what they can do on it. So, you know, I think with all these unknown quantities, Bren is going to be sweating under the collar.
I mean, especially for this game, they know for a fact that, ooh, this is going to be a really rough game to bring back, especially when they have 10 rounds ahead of them. It's going to be a long day of games if they want to make this comeback come true. However, for game 2, yes, there is a bit of an advantage, but NTER so far, and especially with the trend going on with both NTER and Bren, they are just unable to win their own maps, but somehow do especially well on their opposing teams' maps.
Oh yeah, I think that's been a good hallmark for them to really surprise the competition, who have to feel a little bit more confident. But I think, you know, if it's going to be your favorite map, who knows? There could be a lot of information and VODs out there that really is not going to help you. But of course, with how VALORANT Esports moves, it's going to be ever-changing. But yeah, we'll see how that will be playing a part in the future. But now we are going to see that NTER is actually going to be waiting a little bit more here onto the A side. Currently, not a whole lot that Bren can do to stop this, as there's only going to be Jesse here hanging out in the backside. But now this is actually going to be prompting a little bit more help here, as really there's just not a lot of resistance should they all pile forward.
Yeah, NTER, they know for a fact that Sewers is clear. They know for a fact A Long is clear. They're still playing for picks in case anybody decides to peek out. And Bren, on the other hand, they refuse to get picked off like they did before. They can't afford to lose this next round. If not, it's going to be NTER game 1.
I would like to see, even if the site falls, you know, that they have a retake scenario, that they have at least even numbers. Oh no, Dispenser, he's going to catch out Senho, and now this is giving Bren the man advantage here. I dare say rather rarely here, but now they're starting to push here onto the A site. They do not want to hold off any longer, but there's going to be presence here in heaven. It's not going to matter. Dubstep, he's going to pick up 2, and look at the amount of speed and ferocity that they managed to muster. Both their fraggers of Dispenser and Dubstep going to be contributing greatly. And Dubstep, could this be the time for him to wake up? He has been languishing almost at the bottom of the score screen here, and very unlike him based on the other 2 games that we've been seeing so far.
Hopefully it's not burnout and more of getting back into the heat of things, you know? They need to get their arms warmed up and ready, because that's when you see a lot of these players where they make the comments like, my hands are cold, or I'm not warmed up yet. It's a very real thing, surprisingly enough, and unfortunate for Bren. NTER just seems to be so much more prepared.
Well, hopefully we can see him come up to his best here, as we do want all players here to fire on all cylinders. And now it looks like Owl Drone here is going to be spotting out the potential push here from NTER that's going to be coming from the C long. But I think with that bit of information gathered, it might question whether or not they want to try and fake out that they have rotated elsewhere. But they're aggressively peeking. But right now we're not actually seeing reciprocity here from Bren.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the position of where Dubstep is right now, already deep into the enemy lines. They just have to take the time. Spencer actually using the Empress. He needs to find one, but unfortunately, he's going to be going invincible and taking out another one. Can he find another one? Can he get it? But unfortunately, he gets taken out as the rest of the team slowly pushing through and making sure that C Long has been completely cleared out with NTER's corpses.
Oh, Borkum and Dubstep will be able to clean up what Dispenser started off there as a... Yeah, NTER really choosing to still pile into C. I mean, that's up to them, you know, if they want to be doing that. But that does mean that it's going to be a couple rounds in a row that they've lost out, and they actually have to go for an eco buy. So I don't know, maybe they could have done something a bit different in the form of you know, rotating to other angles, as yeah, the initial owl drone coming out from Ching really did kind of give the game away.
Yeah, definitely. And I think overall it's just, at least they don't have to worry about the ultimates coming out of Bren. They exhausted quite a bit of resources from them, but they got to play this eco round and look to hurt Bren's economy as much as they can. I don't expect them to win this, but it's going to be the setup for that 13th round victory.
And yeah, they still need to try and maximize things as much as possible. The chasm is quite big there, but oh, look at the push coming in here. Bren, though, is going to be able to slow this down. The paranoia coming out. Dubstep is going to pick up his 3rd one of the round. Borkum starting to peek here into A-Long. That's where the last 2 players are going to be residing. And look at all those corpses there, all by the sewer side, just not having any success with that push. ACLX, though, he is going to be hanging out here with Mao, see whether or not that they can catch out any of these other players, but they're going to be a little bit trapped, as the Spencer is going to be watching out here for their rotation out there should they decide.
I mean, as long as they continuously be dropping smoke down by A long, I mean, they don't have the information of how many people are on A long. They have a general idea. Reyna, however, is just sitting by gardens. They don't have to do anything but just sit back, relax, and wait for the show to start.
Oh, they'd be making popcorn right now, but of course, Bren, they still need to keep very focused here. They could bring this back, and it would be quite a comeback here if they could. Mal, though, he's going to actually be able to take down Forkham. I think that's going to be considered quite the win just because he's able to take down yet another member and really hamper the economy a little bit more for Bren. They are still going to be on this winning streak 3 rounds in a row, but they're going to have to string a lot more together if they really want to bring this to overtime.
This is going to be a very crucial round for them. Like, eco rounds definitely are always a plus for the side of Bren, but the moment NTER gets the big boy guns, that's when it's going to be a much more deadly fight. Double ops coming in from Bren.
But I think we see a good correlation here between Dubstep's uptick in kills and also the wins coming out from Bren. They have been sorely missing his performance in the earlier rounds, but yeah, they're living on the knife's edge here as really any mishap could really earn them a quick map loss, and yeah, they really need to try and bring this at least at the very least as close as possible.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, you know, NTER has been doing this the entirety of the game. They've just been pushing themselves time and time again, getting such a huge lead, especially against a team like Bren. More surprising than not, but let's see how they actually play this attack out, because once again, they're going to try and stack the odds against Bren as they look to push into A one more time. Bren, that recon arrow is going to reveal the rest of the team, but the paranoia comes out almost immediately. The op doesn't exactly land, but the Hunter's Fury is going to spot them out as they look to push on through. Heaven is going to be covered, but unfortunately Jesse Bosch was able to secure that kill.
Not enough initial damage here, and everyone's going to be having most of their players, but oh, Popo man taking down 2 straight away. Zeno as well, only 1 left, but it's not going to happen here for Bren. They tried valiantly 3 rounds in a row, but NTER finally breaks the trend, and now we're seeing the Taiwanese team take the first map of this series, and they're looking challenging here for qualifying for the playoffs.
Where was this NTER earlier? This is a tough position to get themselves because they have to win these 2 games. That in itself is difficult, especially against Bren, and the performance that we've seen throughout this group. The report cards definitely are very varying between these 2 teams, but I'm happy that NTER finally are strutting their stuff. They need 1 more game to qualify in for the playoffs. Bren, on the other hand, I know the Filipino fans are still going to be cheering for them. This wasn't their best performance, but you got to put some faith because they have been crushing it on their opponents' picks of maps.
Oh, and yeah, I think they're going to have to, you know, try and maintain that level of form that they managed to garner, you know, even when it's not going to be on Terra Firma. But, you know, I think Haven, everyone's going to be able to bust out their respective strategies and plays to a certain extent. But the next map is where it's going to get incredibly interesting. NTER, we haven't seen them play this map. We've seen no one play Split at all today, so I think everyone's going to be wondering how they want to approach this. We've seen only a couple teams consistently bringing it.
Yeah, and you know, it's definitely a huge advantage for one side, and I think that's the idea coming into this. They're playing off of so much momentum, and the performance that they gave just now, being so hot and warmed up, I can't even blame them for actually going to Split, even though I personally don't like the map, but I can definitely understand it to give your team the best opportunity of getting into the playoffs. This might be an intelligent option.
Yeah, and especially if, you know, the Bren has got good strategies on their own, they're going to be starting on defense first, which could actually prompt them to, you know, make a little bit of a comeback and deny any hopes here to the Taiwanese team for actually getting through to the playoffs, as really it has come down to this very final map and match here in our group stages if, you know, who is going to be making it through to the business end of the Royal Sea Cup.
Talk about a group of death overall. I mean, so many teams have gone 1-1 against each other, and when it really matters to get that 2-0, that's where teams are just sweating. But we're only going to see the best performances amongst these teams only if there is a huge amount of pressure on their shoulders. Can't get diamonds without those.
No, exactly, and it's a shame that we have to see up to this point where really NTER has had to come up with a result in that game to really see their best round so far, or best map so far, and well, maybe we might be able to see a little bit more from them when we move on to Split. Now, we're not too sure exactly what kind of agents that they're going to bring to the table, but it could be a little bit surprising. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to take a short breather over here while we toss it back to our lovely analyst panel for their breakdown of the game and their predictions on what is going to be happening on Split. So you've been listening to Play of the J and Getting Q. We'll see you in just a few minutes.